Hi, I'm Rabbi Jeremy Fine. And several times over the last couple years, in this room, this social hall of the Temple of Aaron Synagogue, we hosted something called Temple of Wrestling. So the story begins just a few years ago when a few congregants of mine said, why don't we put on Temple Mania? I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. I watched the Macho Man, to Bill Goldberg, to Paul Heyman, and I saw the Jews of wrestling sort of underrepresented, right? Christmas Day Massacre, where's Hanukkah Havoc? So we went down this path with several different promotions, but along the way, after a conversation with Colt Cabana, I met an independent wrestler named Eric Cannon. Eric Cannon runs Minnesota Wrestling, if I do say so myself. And the story begins here. So Eric Cannon and I shook hands in the middle of Stein Hall where wrestling would take place. And we started to look for Jewish representation in wrestling throughout the world, finding some household names that everyone could recognize. Hi, we are here. I'm with Lisa Marie Verone. You know her as Victoria from WWE.
Or Tara from Impact Wrestling. Yes, yes.
Awesome. And this is a huge thrill for me because I grew up watching this woman wrestle. So we're here at Hanukkah Havoc. We're backstage. And favorite match of all time.
My favorite match. You guys are going to be baffled because I know you want me to say the hardcore matches and all that. When I was a sumo wrestler.
Sumo wrestler?
The sumo wrestler, I was dressed up. There was a big old, like that sumo, it's a real sumo, that you can hardly pick up, that you do the wrestling in the backyard.
Yeah.
I did that. I thought they were not going to be able to lift me up. The girls were so, much smaller than I was. So I kind of did it, I knew they were all going to dress sexy. And I was like, let me just be the funny one. I was in the business for so long. I was just trying to pop everybody and make everybody laugh and stuff. And unfortunately, second to last, I think third to last, I got eliminated by Barbie and Tori Wilson. And it was a fun match. The reason why everybody was laughing in there. Okay. And I was saying, you guys, we have 3 minutes left. We need to end it. We need to end it. And they were like crying. Mickey James was crying, spinning me around. So it was a lot of more memorable moments, like that kind of stuff, you know? Sure. I mean, I had awesome matches like cage match, all these, the hardcore, the street fights. But that's one of the memorable moments is because it was fun.
So you're here at Hanukkah Havoc.
I am.
You're in a Hanukkah sweater. I'm in a Hanukkah sweater.
It lights up.
Where
you guys
did you
can't
grow
see
up?
I grew up I was born San Bernardino, California.
Okay.
And raised in Rialto, California, which was the neighborhood of San Bernardino. I'm an Inland Empire girl. We call it the IE. I'm a California girl at heart, but I've moved so much, and I lived in Chicago for many, many years. You guys know when I used to own the restaurant there. And I love it. Just the weather. I can't do this cold weather. You guys, I don't know how you do it.
They forced me to work here.
Honestly. Oh my gosh.
And grew up with celebrating Hanukkah?
Yes. And in Christmas too.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in San Bernardino, California, there's not very many it's mostly Christian-based neighborhood, do you know what I mean? So we celebrated everything. I even celebrated Easter and everything like that, just because you're mingling with the kids, you know what I mean?
Egg hunts are fun for everyone.
You're right. But it's a blast. More so now, though, as an adult, I think, because now you really, really appreciate it, you know what I mean? And you enjoy family, and you enjoy going to temple and listening to the songs, and has more meaning when you get older. And I wish we enjoyed it just as much as we were just kids, Our first show, Mitzvah Mayhem, and our second show, Hanukkah Havoc, were a great success. And because of that success, we started filling up the entire synagogue, selling out these shows, fans raving about their experience. Word and excitement grew. We brought in Israeli wrestler Yuval Goldschmidt, and our children of all ages started to continue to have fun and excitement around these wrestling giants. The wrestlers themselves reached out wanting to be a part of Temple of Wrestling. Sadly, COVID hit, and our next proposed program, Bar Mitzvah Bash, was canceled. But after long strategic planning with Eric Cannon, we were able to host a few of First Wrestling shows until we finally came back for our final Temple of Wrestling show, Exodus. I'm here with Eric Cannon, the head promoter, the VFW champion of First Wrestling.
and we're doing a behind-the-scenes look at all things Temple of Wrestling, the first ever, second ever Jewish wrestling in the world, I think, outside of the land of Israel.
I was gonna ask, is
Yeah,
this is the first wrestling?
There's one in
a
Canada,
synagogue?
in America for sure. In a synagogue, yes. In America, also, I believe this is true. So
I'll take them both.
Well, we started on a handshake deal in where all the shows are happening.
Correct.
When we first approached you, what did you think about doing a wrestling show that had like Jewish themes in it?
At first, I was really kind of like, this is not gonna happen, just because you don't really think of professional wrestling happening inside a church or a synagogue or anything of the sort. But I thought it was a really cool opportunity for First Wrestling to be able to do something new, something different, and also importantly, like reach out to a new fan base, a different type of community almost. And it's really good for us to try to do some all ages events because our wheelhouse is the adult
Entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah, so these shows are a little more fan-friendly than the other ones for the kids.
I mean, the shows are all fan-friendly, but these ones are family-friendly.
Family-friendly,
Yes.
There we go. So what are some of the things you've learned about doing wrestling in a synagogue? Besides some Yiddish words. His Yiddish is not so bad.
I don't know if it's so much so that I learned things about doing shows in the synagogue, but more so got to sharpen up on, like I said, like the all ages style of an event. That it's a different type of content.
All right, fair enough. And finally, favorite Jewish wrestler of all time?
Favorite Jewish wrestler of all time? I think I have to go with Colt Cabana.
Who's on the show tonight, Exodus. Our last show together, at least here for now,
In
that
Minnesota.
we know. It's going to be fun. Thanks, Mr. Cannon.
Yeah.
Once again, the synagogue filled up for Temple of Wrestling. But for Exodus, we wanted to do something special and brought in living legend Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
Who's out there? Big Papa Pumps you hooked up. Holler! If you hear me!
And then we looked for independent Jewish wrestlers. Here's Nate Bach. All right, with Nate Bach, who just finished his first 10 Plagues Battle Royal. How'd you do, Nate?
I think I was rigged. I didn't like it. Next time I get back out there, I'm gonna show a different result.
So their first time wrestling in a synagogue, Temple of Wrestling, how'd it go?
Like I said, I was rigged. But the synagogue's special to me because I did grow up. I did celebrate Hanukkah. I did celebrate Passover. So I tried to represent for my fellow Jews. Didn't turn out well for me, but next time, the wild card from the West Coast is coming here.
And Tennessee's own Jaden Newman. All right, here with Jaden Newman backstage again at Temple of Wrestling, Exodus. This is really backstage. I mean, this is
It really is.
It
This is
really
backstage
is.
as backstage gets.
So you had 2 matches tonight. How'd it
Yeah.
go? First time wrestling in a synagogue.
Well, first time ever at First Wrestling for El Numero Uno, Ichiban #1. And let me tell you, I've wrestled in plenty of churches, obviously because of my southern upbringing, but a synagogue, that's new. It's beautiful. Like, that was the one thing that blew me away as soon as I walked in. I was just blown away at how beautiful like the artwork was and just like all the artifacts and everything. It was super awesome. It was a great experience. Crowd was lively. I seem to have, I guess, maybe left an impression. So,
Yeah, for sure. And then live in Tennessee?
Yes.
Where in Tennessee?
I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga.
Representing the scenic city always. That's home base.
Chilean superstar Ariel Levy. All right, so I'm here with Ariel Levy. His first time wrestling in a synagogue, right?
Yes,
I think so.
first time,
yeah.
yes.
So how did that go?
I don't know. I got invited and I got excited because I never did this before. We don't have shows in synagogues in Chile. We have like bar mitzvahs and I never been to a wrestling themed bar mitzvah either.
Well,
so yeah, I
someone
know
should
you
have
have a
that.
lot of that here. I've seen MJF's one, but mine was like a more regular one, and so yeah, I was excited. My mom was not too because she's very traditional, and she was like, "Why are they having a wrestling show today?" I was like, It's cool, Mom. It gets people interested in coming to in seeing like the synagogue is not only like this boring place where you just go and pray, where you can have fun and then study and learn about our tradition, right?
Absolutely. And we had a handful of Jewish guys on the show tonight. And we've had them in the past. And then AEW has, where you've performed a little bit on Dark. You have Dean Malenko and Colt Cabana was here, and so that's kind of cool. And tell Mom we had a minion.
No, of course.
We definitely had a minion of people.
Definitely, yeah. We have historically we have had very good Jewish representatives. Yeah, Goldberg, right? That's
Paul
like
Heyman.
a stronger one.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman, best talker in the business.
But the show didn't end there with a surprise appearance by former ECW champion Rhino. Winner of the 10 Plagues Battle Royal, Rhino would go on to face the Temple of Wrestling champion, Colt Cabana.
So I call it right now, no DQ, and we restart this thing right now. Referee, restart it right now.
After a grueling match, Colt Cabana is still your Temple of Wrestling champion. Oh yeah, and there was one more special appearance. All right, this is before my first time in the ring, officially, not just talking, reffing, surprise guest referee. Let's get this. Wrestling, Temple of Wrestling, I've learned a lot more than I actually could have ever imagined. What do I mean by that? This place on a Wednesday night in the synagogue was exciting. Kids of all ages on their feet, adults who have not come back to the synagogue since their bar mitzvah, sitting front row. This became an interfaith event, people in the synagogue meeting a rabbi for the first time. And it really opened up a door to be able to connect with Jews and non-Jews alike. Wrestling became a place for everybody. I learned a lot through the experience and hope you did too. So for Temple of Wrestling, I'm Rabbi Jeremy Fine, the Great Rabbino, and thank you for watching.